Hey everybody, how's it going? This is going to be a book ramble on the Horus Heresy Betrayal, which is book one of Forge World's Horus Heresy series. It's a book series that's been a long time coming. I've been really looking forward to it even before official word of it happening. We meeting a lot of people who are fans of the Horus Heresy kind of felt it was coming once you started seeing all that stuff drop with the Badabor, all of that pre-Heresy, Great Crusade, Horus Heresy era looking stuff. But anyways, I'm just going to give a brief overview without going too in-depth, because if I really went in-depth and talking about stuff, it would be multiple videos. But basically, it's book one in the series. Real quick, this is not replacing Imperial Armor. Imperial Armor is still happening, to my knowledge. I don't know when book 12 is coming out, but to my knowledge, Imperial Armor will still be going on as its own thing. This is not an Imperial Armor product. This is its own standalone book. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the quality of the book is pretty high. I mean, you got these fancy little etched things here. You got the silver lined pages. Nothing on the back cover. Very tome-like. The spine is very professional looking. It looks more like an encyclopedia or a dictionary type book. And a very nice cover. The inside of the book is very nice. You got your map. Everything's laid out in full color here. Pictures of the legions, color schemes going on in here, which is pretty cool. Just overall, they did a very good job with this book. I think if you compare it to the Imperial Armor book, the layout is the same. I think this may have less pictures in it. That doesn't mean it doesn't have much. It just feels like it might be a little lacking in pictures, but making up more for it with maps and stuff like that. So, the book is laid out very much like an Imperial Armor book, which is laid out very similarly to a codex. So you got the fluff stuff, and then you have rules in the back for doing things. And that's how this book is. Now, it's going to be a long one, guys, so bear with me. This is book one, like I said. There's no set number of books to come out that I'm aware of. I believe Forge World said they don't have a set number. They're just going to produce them. I guess kind of like how Black Libraries produced so many Horus Heresy novels. But this, I don't feel the number will be too big for two different reasons. Number one, they're not going to do any less than, I would say, 3 legions a book. They did 4 in the opening one. My guess is they'll continue that trend. But I don't think they'll do anything smaller than 3, really. And my second not more important reason, but one I think holds a bit more weight to it, is you can't have the last of the legions being brought in 4 years or 5 years or so, or even 3 years down the line from this book coming out. That's not fair to, let's say, the Imperial Fist, one of the last legions. That's not fair to the Imperial Fist fan, for example. They will have been waiting a long time, and that just doesn't bode well. So I think we're going to see, whenever the books drop, mind you, I don't know how often they're going to produce these books. I don't know if it's a once a year thing or once every few months or so. I have no idea. But I think what we'll see is at least the legions fully covered in pretty quick succession, comparatively to the Horus Heresy novel series. Just so everybody's got some stuff going on. If the book series continues on after that, maybe it'll be more in depth with things. Maybe added special units for certain legions and whatnot. I don't know, though. That's pure speculation. What is known is that it's not going to be just Space Marines. It's going to be non-Legion forces as well as non-Imperial forces. And in this book we have 4 legions. We have the Emperor's Children, the Death Guard, the World Leaders, and the Sons of Horus. And on top of that we have a Mechanicum detachment in here as well, which is pretty cool. So I'm guessing, this is the only book, but I'm guessing it's going to follow a similar layout with having X amount of legions plus the detachment per book that comes out. This book has missions. Before I get into that, I should say this book, fluff-wise, is all about Istvan 3. It gives you a little bit of a background of the unity of uniting terror, I should say, the Unity Wars, or whatever you want to call it, War of Unification. It has a little bit of background on that, a little bit of background leading up to Horus's betrayal at Istvan 3. But the bulk of it is Istvan 3, kind of a detailed synopsis of it. And that's where this book pretty much leaves off, is the end of Istvan 3. And I imagine the next book to pick up will be either something to deal with the Thousand Suns and the Space Wolves, or Istvan 5 or something like that. I don't know. But there's a campaign in this book for the death of Istvan 3 that you could play along with. There's also missions in this book, and there's also Zone Mortalis missions in this book and stratagems, which is pretty cool. So you get a full run of 40k style combat, whether it's small squad based stuff or larger games, or if it's more of a close quarter game inside like a ship or inside of a building complex or something like that. All of it's covered. I'm wondering if they'll do any Battlefield Gothic stuff in the future, kind of like they did with the Badabor, because I think a Battlefield Gothic thing would be very fitting, because there's plenty of fleet engagements, and it could be pretty cool to see some Primarch flagship rules and things like that, but we'll see. This book also contains the rules for fielding a Space Marine Legion army list. And it's pretty cool. There's a lot of stuff. I really like the way the Space Marine Legion is laid out in terms of the army list. So you get a bunch of troop choices, a bunch of fat stack. You get a lot of options. It's laid out like a legion of many warriors should be laid out. And it's something that I like a lot more than how Space Marine chapter is laid out. I've always been a fan of the Legion concept. It just made more sense to me to have those numbers going about, so you can have forces specialized to do certain things and support each other better. You still have your tactical squad, but whereas in, I feel, regular 40k Space Marine codices, you have the squads taking on more roles than they would have. In this, you have the squads taking on their roles, plus supported by other squads that take on slightly different roles. And that's one thing I should point out. This Horus Heresy series does not require any codex to be played. It's just the main rulebook and the Horus Heresy books. That's it. So you don't need any of the codices. With that being said, your Imperial detachment, in this case the Mechanicum, is kind of a small force to field, but you still can field a mechanical force with just this book, which is kind of cool. Because I like the Mechanicum. Now, like I said, the Legion and Army List stuff is in here. You can take a Praetor, which is basically, if you're going to compare it to a Space Marine Codex, a Chapter Master type, very high-ranking Space Marine in the Legion. You can get Warlord traits from this book. You can also take Rites of War, which is something to further personalize your force and also give it limitations. So one of them, for example, lets you take Veteran Squads and Terminator Squads as troop choices, and lets you, I believe, take a Spartan tank as a transport for your command squad. But its limitation is you cannot have any allies, and you can, if you lose all of your Veteran Squads and Terminator Squads, your opponent scores an objective point extra. So it gives you some cool stuff to further mold how your force wants to be, and some limitations to go with it, which is kind of cool. So you can really feel the personalized force for a Legion of your choice, even if they don't have rules yet for their Legion-specific stuff. Like the 4 Legions in this book have their Primarchs as rules. They have special characters. They have some traits going on with them. But you could play an Imperial Fist Legion if you wanted to right now with the rules for fielding a Space Marine Legion in here. I do not know or think that they'll include the Space Marine Legion army list in all of the books. I'm guessing it'll say refer to book 1. That's my guess, with some specialized stuff being in the appropriate Legion section. But, maybe, maybe not. I have no idea. I'm hoping that when they do these books, that they'll include the Sisters of Silence and the Custodian Guard, the Legio Custodes, in in place of 2 legions, because if you do 4 book, you get the fifth, well, not the fifth book, but one of the 5 books will only have 2 legions in it because it's 18 legions in total. Two that are expunged from all record, and so that's -2. So 20 minus 2 is 18. You can have one book with just 2 legions in it, and the Sisters of Silence play a big role, and the Legio Custodes has a big role, and they both have their own army layout and format. It'd be really cool if they got full-fledged rules in the books to come. Maybe not at the same time. Maybe have two, have this Legio Custodes, and their rules take up a chunk of the book, and then in the book after that, Sisters of Silence, and the book before it, Sisters of Silence, or something like that. But anyway, the special characters are pretty cool in this book. Some of them we know, like Sal Tarbitz and Garviel Loken. Some of them we don't really know, and I can't remember the names of the ones that we don't know because they weren't in the novels, because I don't remember their names. You get like a special squad for each guy, basically. You get the Death Shroud bodyguard for the Death Guard. You get the Justaran Terminators. For Horus, you get swordsman squad for Emperor's Children. You get like a gladiatorial squad for the World Eaters. The Primarchs have rules, and I was on the fence. I thought it was a kind of a cool idea, but I was also skeptical because it's easy for them to be pretty cheesy and lame, either too powerful or not powerful enough. It's a fine balancing act. And the way I look at it is this. The fluff for them is one way, just like the fluff for Space Marines is one way, but that's not fully represented on the tabletop. It can't be. It wouldn't be fair. It would be a little bit crazy to do that for them, and they have to do it for everybody. And it would make the game just feel that much either more annoying to play, or some stuff would be feel really outclassed in comparison. So everything's kind of balanced out, for lack of a better term. Maybe not perfectly, but still. That's the way I view the Primarchs as their rules. I think the rules are great. I think Forge World did a pretty good job with the rules, getting the feel of that Primarch across. They feel very strong and capable. But it's not going to be that demigod legendary status of their fluff that we know, because that just wouldn't be fair or fun, really. It would be, I'm playing against a Primarch, I lose type of thing. And that's not right. So, the Primarchs are cool. Their rules are cool. They got cool war gear, cool stats, cool special rules, like I said. The one thing I don't like is that the Primarchs, some of them have either purely one weapon or a weapon that has unwieldy. And unwieldy is a rule that's fine. I have nothing against the unwieldy rule. I just think that's a rule that should be null and void for Primarchs. I think Primarchs should never treat anything as unwieldy. Part of their charm and their, not so much charm, but part of their legendary status is that they're just, nothing's unwieldy to them. They're masters of war. So that's the one thing I don't like. For example, Mortarion has an unwieldy weapon and it's his only melee weapon. So it's kind of a shame. I get what they're going for, but I think that would have been one way to make Primarchs a bit over the top without being straight up crazy overpowered. Just no unwieldy weapons for any of them. I think that really would be a kind of a cool representation of them, and just gives you more of a, oh snap, I can't just charge in with 30 dedicated assaulters, all with really good weaponry, in the hopes of weighing him down because he's by himself right now, because he's still going to go to his initiative and cut through me pretty hard. Stuff like that. That's my only criticism of the Primarchs thus far, is that unwieldy is not a rule I really want to see with the Primarchs. But I kind of get what they were going for with it. It would just be better suited for them not to have it, in my opinion. But anyways, that's it. I'm looking forward to see the Dark Eagles Legion whenever that comes out, and the Thousand Sons Legion whenever that comes out, personally. And as a big fan of the Horus Heresy, I'm enjoying this book. I haven't read it cover to cover completely, but I went through it enough to talk about it a little bit, and I'm currently reading it, line for line now, and I'm enjoying it. Anyways, it's kind of price heavy, but it's overall a very good quality book in terms of construction and look, and if you're into this type of thing, you won't mind it too much. Although I will agree the book is a little pricey for Forge World. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Thanks for sticking through this, and until next time, take it easy.